Something is about to snap in the Klondike. You can feel it in the engines, in the dirt, in the miners' voices. Parker is pushing harder than he ever has. Tony is fighting off chaos that won't stop coming. And Kevin Beats? He's gambling the entire season on a familiar face who walks into camp with a brand new smile and a past nobody has forgotten. Season 16 of Gold Rush is already burning hotter than a wash plant seconds before meltdown. And episode 4, Buzz in the Hills, doesn't just raise the stakes, it detonates them. With gold prices skyrocketing and deadlines tightening like a vice, every wrong move threatens to cost these crews millions. Racing the clock, fighting the paperwork. Dominion Creek is vibrating with tension, not excitement, pressure, the kind that crawls under your skin. Parker stands over maps and permits like a man counting down a bomb timer. 3 weeks into the season, and he's already banked over $2 million in gold. But to him, that doesn't even register, because his Sulphur Creek water license is running out, fast. And Parker refuses, absolutely refuses, to let a bureaucratic nightmare crush him the way it nearly destroyed Rick Ness. So he lays down a command that shakes the camp. Sulphur Creek must produce gold before this week ends. No excuses, no mistakes, no second chances. Mitch Blask and Brennan Ruall go to war with the ground, carving through permafrost like soldiers under fire. Machines pound the earth, diesel screams. Every operator knows the margin for error is zero. Then comes the monster move, dragging the massive wash plant, Roxanne, 25 brutal miles through terrain designed to break equipment and men alike. Sharp ridges, mud pits, slopes that look like cliffs. One bad angle and the season ends in twisted steel. Days later, battered but intact, Roxanne arrives at Sulphur Creek. When the first gold hits the sluice, Parker's face shifts. Not relief, but something close to shock. The early results? Way better than a rush setup should ever give. By the week's end, 3 plants are roaring, and the tally hits 527 ounces, over $1.1 million in 7 days. And Parker realizes he's over 1,000 ounces ahead of last year's pace. A win, but in the Yukon, wins evaporate fast. And Parker knows the ground is gearing up to bite back. Floods, failure, and a near-death wash plant. Over at Indian River, Tony moves like a man who owns the land under his boots. And with 775 ounces already banked, he almost does. But the Yukon doesn't care how much gold you've pulled. It always wants another pound of flesh. Cousin Mike is suddenly called away to Europe, forcing Tony to promote Jacob into the foreman role at the worst possible moment. The early bird cut needs 9 more acres stripped, and the pay is exposed, sitting defenseless. Then nature moves in for the kill. Spring runoff pours into the cut like a dam burst. Pumps fail, mud rises, equipment sinks. All that beautiful pay dirt vanishes into brown soup. Tony arrives to a disaster zone. His expression says everything, but instead of unleashing the Viking rage he's famous for, he gives Jacob one more chance. A quiet warning, a silent test. But the chaos isn't done. Later, a strange rattle echoes from the wash plant, the kind of sound that makes every miner's stomach drop. Tony climbs the structure and finds a nightmare in progress. Loose bolts, cracked tailing chutes, and a shaker deck on the verge of ripping itself apart. A few more hours and the plant would have self-destructed. Days, maybe weeks, lost. Sparks fly into the night as welders work like surgeons, saving a failing heart. The plant survives, disaster dodged. The weigh-in that follows breaks the tension like a dam bursting. 250.7 ounces for the week, nearly $900,000, pushing the Beats family over 1,000 ounces for the season. Floods, mechanical failures, manpower shifts, and Tony still refuses to bend. The king is bruised, but the crown stays on. A crew falling apart, and an unlovely return. Scribner Creek is a different story, a quieter one, a heavier one. Kevin Beats, only in year 2 as a mine boss, is already drowning in problems. A strong start turns to dust as pay thins out. His stockpile shrinks. His crew vanishes. First Brennan, then Caden Foote, both lured away by Parker. The site feels empty. Faith sees it. Kevin feels it. Their father isn't coming to save them. No cavalry, no backup. The 2,000-ounce target looks like a bad joke. Then, headlights appear. A truck rolls into camp and out steps Buzz Legault, Rick Ness's former operator, now sporting a confident grin and a set of freshly repaired teeth. He looks different, lighter, stronger. Buzz explains he took time off, traveled to Mexico, fixed his smile, fixed his life, and now with a baby on the way, he needs stability. Real stability. Something Rick's chaos could never give him. Kevin listens. Faith watches. Buzz has something they desperately need. Skill, reliability, calm. Kevin makes the call. Buzz is the new foreman. And not a moment too soon. Because Kevin is about to attempt the most dangerous move of his entire career. Dragging his $250,000 wash plant down a slope, across uneven terrain, then up a brutal 30-degree incline. One tilt, one slip, one mistake, and the season dies instantly. The excavator can't handle it, so Kevin calls in the beast, the D10 dozer. Cables strain, metal groans, the plant shudders, the entire crew holds its breath, and slowly, impossibly, the plant climbs. When it settles in its new home at the pyramid cut, Kevin feels the weight lift off his shoulders for the first time all season. Before the move, they tally 56.59 ounces, nearly $200,000. Not enough, but with Buzz beside him, Kevin sees a path forward again. Episode 4 summary: pressure, pain, and payoff. Buzz in the Hills delivers everything Gold Rush fans crave: high-risk moves, heartbreaking setbacks, shocking comebacks, mechanical disasters, personal battles, massive payoffs. Parker is fighting the clock like it owes him money. Tony is wrestling with water and machinery, trying to crush his season. Kevin is rebuilding hope from the ashes of a crumbling crew. The Yukon feels alive, mean, unpredictable, humming with gold and danger. And this week, the Hills didn't just buzz, they screamed.